Welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. Last time we went over Goldberry and Rosado, as well as Erika's Bond Rings, and we also got perhaps one of the best supports in all of Fire Emblem. And now, we're going to be going to the paralogue of what is often considered the worst written Fire Emblem, a place of significance to Emblem Corrin. Here, the Divine Dragon will face an important trial. Now, the donkey is the rare animal for Firene, by the way. Like me doing Ike's paralogue early, this could potentially be an issue, but we'll see. I have technically put this off one chapter. And one thing that I've tended to notice about these Emblem paralogues is that if you do them at the moment they become available, they are ridiculously hard, but if you put them off for even one chapter, they get a lot easier.
Is this? No, it's not. And yet, the similarities...
This would actually be the third time Corrin has gone through this map, well, sixth if you count all three routes of Fates, because I believe Warriors also recreated this, though Warriors probably recreated some of the other Emblem paralogues.
What's the matter, Corrin?
This place looks very much like where my fate branched. I had 3 options that day. My decision meant abandoning 2 of my possible fates.
And so you chose the hidden 4th option, to join Smash.
What do you mean?
In my world, there are 2 opposing kingdoms, Hoshido and Nor. I was born in Hoshido, but spent my childhood in Nor.
But conveniently are not blood related to either royal family, so it is okay if I am attracted to them.
Having ties on both sides of a conflict. That would be a hard way to live your life.
Indeed. This is where Hoshido and Nor faced off, and I had to choose which country to back. I had family and friends in Hoshido and in Nor. I didn't want to abandon any of them. But as hard as it was, I had to make a decision. Hoshido or Nor. Maybe neither, and I would fight alone. There was no obvious answer.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people would say that Birthright is the obvious answer, and officially Revelation is the obvious answer.
I don't know how I'd make such a big choice. It's possible a significant one still awaits me at some point on our journey.
You've already decided to face the Fell Dragon and save the world. I'd call that a big choice. Now let's see if your choice was a worthy one. Face me in combat. The results will inform my next choice. Surely our bonds will grow stronger.
I understand. The paths we've each chosen. I'm excited to find out what lies beyond the point where our fates meet.
Just realized that from that earlier conversation we got with Louis about emblems being unable to touch things, that would mean that becoming an emblem would be the worst possible fate for Corrin. You don't get a lot of deployment slots for this map. And of course, you can't use Corrin's emblem ring. But if we look at the map here... Yeah, so the gimmick of this is that there is a High Priest, a Sniper, a Swordmaster, a Griffin Knight, because there are no Falcon Knights in this game, a Wyvern Knight, a Mounted Staff Knight, a Paladin, and a Mage Knight here. Yes, obviously these represent the Hoshidan and Norian royals. Apparently these 500 gold bags are actually 1,000 gold in normal mode. So the gimmick is, these ones are all quite tough enemies, and you can either fight them for the money, or you can just go straight for beating Corrin herself. And Corrin herself is actually quite a threat as far as emblems go. Her weapons might be a little weak, except for the Yator, which is kind of strong. But because she's a dragon, she can use any Dragon Vein effect she wants. She has Draconic Hex and Dreadful Aura, and also Torrential Roar. So she's both a threat offensively and can also debuff you. She has Pair Up, which nullifies chain attacks. This is an ability she won't learn until after you beat this paralogue, and it makes taking her on with a chain attack heavy army kind of a bad thing. And also, of course, she has the better version of face touching, which this is literally called skinship in the Japanese version, so they're making no qualms about it. It's definitely face touching. Also, all of her stats are very all-round balanced. I mean, the speed's kind of low by our standards right now. But she's got a decent amount of bulk to her on both sides of the spectrum, decently fast. I think she... Okay, considering that she is weak to dragon-slaying weapons... Oh yeah, it says right here, vulnerable to weapons with effective dragon. Yeah, the class type and the vulnerable type are different. So yes, because she is in her home game, I had a feeling she would be here. Now also, we have a giant thing of water here. Remember that, because there's a chance that that water might not be there for this whole map. We also have some dangerous archers, as well as some fabrications, spearmen. This is about the arrow. Oh yeah, this is that skill. I was mistaking this for the bow knight one is, I think, increased hit rate if you're stationary. And this is increased crit rate against a foe that can't counter, which you usually get... You usually attack things that can't counter with archers. Now, one funny thing that I like to do is to use Byleth to snipe a couple of enemies from across the river. Can be fun to do sometimes. Because if you go all the way down to Corrin and you have to deal with, like, everything at once... things can get kind of rough. So, okay. Now, actually, maybe I should send Louis somewhere. Alchrist, or does anybody with Lyn can be useful in case you want to just emergency aggro Corrin, but if you do, let's just say something happens. I guess Clan's been doing well enough. Although, hang on. Can Clan double the Swordmasters? No, he'd need a little bit more speed to do that, okay. I probably need Anna because of the tough flyers around here, and also Draconic Hex. You know, Yunaka and Tamara are kind of the same as far as, like, damage output goes right now, and Tamara needs experience more. And so, let's get this face-off going!
Are you ready? Then let's begin.
Corrin can alter the terrain. I can't get caught unaware by her changes.
And if you remember Fates itself, you might know what kind of terrain alteration is going to happen here. And of course it's Lost in Thought all alone. Now this is actually one of my favourite Emblem paralog map themes.
Let us be off.
Just because it's a really nice medley of a lot of different great songs from Fates. So the first one is, this would be Dusk Falls.
Ready for anything.
I can fight.
I'm ready.
I smell gold. Yes.
And here's a bit of Road Taken.
No mistakes.
Ivy can snipe you with Dire Thunder. And then, of course, Lost in Thought all alone itself. I think there's a bit of Far Dawn in this too. I mean, there'd have to be Far Dawn if there's a bit of Dusk Falls. And I also, a lot of people have told me that they really wish that, there were no enemy phase themes in the paralogs, that the actual paralog theme just played for the whole thing. And honestly, I totally agree. The paralog themes are, for the most part, just so good. Okay, yeah, you do have to be careful here, because those enemies will try and cross the river. Also, yeah, now, there are more enemies around. Okay, so yeah, Ivy not gonna stay there. The enemies will eventually get over this river. If I do that, I'm gonna have to kill all of those snipers. Because there's like, yeah, Ivy does not want to get... Unless I... Nah, I need to get Aaliyah moving. But I suppose if Anna can only go here... Oh, Radiant Bow does not quite finish you, okay. This will reduce Louis' Void to 0, but I mean... Maybe that's fine? Okay, if I go Erica... Actually, first I have to show engaging with Erica.
Won't you join me?
I was hoping he'd use that quote with her for the song. I like Erica's pose there. And then you get this... I don't even know what color that hair is. It's sort of a strange sea green, like sea blue-green kind of hair color.
Why do we repeat our mistakes?
Yeah, I mentioned that that's one of Erica's quotes from before. don't even know if I want to use Ike here, and that's not going to be guaranteed, so let's go for this, even though he takes quite a bit of damage there.
Here we go.
Or not, because he dodged. It's kind of funny when people get that random chain attack when it's totally unnecessary. And now we have two of those. I mean, technically Aaliyah does break, but I mean, it's not really going to do much. Is there any difference if I engage? Does not look like it. Yeah, this part, like this part of the song, I've always, because I did follow Fates before it, actually there's Emblem energy there. Just trying to think whether I use Goddess Dance now. And I actually might. And if I Goddess Dance, everything in this general vicinity is probably going to die anyway, so I'm not sure if I even need to freeze, but I think I probably should save that. Not going to go for the engage just yet. And I'm wondering who out of Alchrist and Temera is more likely... I mean, I kind of wonder if Temera could be able to take these guys on. Oh, there's a Brave Sword down there. 22, though. Oh, actually, she kind of tanks them. But yeah, as I was saying,
I'm sorry you're stuck with me.
Maybe I could, although I don't want to aggro everything too soon. But I'm wondering if I could... Oh, I can snipe that, and that's probably not a bad idea. Or I could just snipe Hinoka. If I snipe you, though, I think Temera can handle most of the rest of the things there. And hey, Alchrist could actually run back up to that northern Emblem energy and try and snipe something else. So maybe I will actually do that.
By my hand.
The Sage that's in my path on, like, the main path, I can easily kill just naturally. Whereas I'm worried that if I snipe Hinoka, it will aggro everybody, including Corrin.
I need to get stronger until no one can beat me.
But yeah, because I followed Fates' release in Japanese, kind of. Because I forget exactly when Corrin does the Dragon Vein, whether it's proximity-based or whether it's, like... It's probably more when you get closer to Corrin herself that she does it. But yeah, because I kind of followed Fates' release in Japanese before... Well, actually not a whole lot, because I tried to stay blind on it, but in terms of song names, I remember hearing, like... The name that I knew Road Taken by was The Journey That We Have Been Someday, or something to that effect, which is admittedly a bit of an awkward name, which then gets me into stuff about, yeah, So, not to knock, because I get that, you know, definitely people appreciated the fact that, there was a fan translation for Fates made available before the game officially came out in English, and to be honest, things like that probably played a role in getting Nintendo to do simultaneous worldwide releases, and that was, in my opinion, a good thing for everybody. Not least of which because, and that's why I gave Anna Draconic X, because you can do that with a longbow. Not least of which because it means that, that we get to avoid spoilers, Okay, Mage can attack from there, so if I'm going to attack something with Amber, it will probably be this guy from up north, and then, yep, there we go, another Amber one-shot.
Here we go.
Another patented Amber one-shot. But yeah, that initial Fates fan translation was, I feel like, it was definitely, like, the purpose of it was just to, like, just for people who wanted to play the game early. It wasn't really meant to be, like, a definitive translation, so I think people got a little too attached to the translation choices that it made, even though it was, again, kind of a rush translation, meant just, you know, not really meant to be taken too seriously. Especially with the fact that, like, everyone was calling each other, like, Big Sister Camilla and Big Brother Xander, like, with that exact wording. Which doesn't really work in English, in my opinion. And good, I have Alacrity.
A good wind.
I mean, I should generally assume that I do have Alacrity. The Alcra's getting a little better for me. I just realized that I left Lapis out of this chapter. I completely forgot about her. Yeah, I only remembered when I was like, yeah, I guess she is kind of falling behind. Her resistance is 18. But should I try and lure these enemies now? If I do use use Parthia to try and counter this mage, then there's a chance that Aaliyah gets broken and then can't use the Parthia, so yeah. Unfortunately, I may have to use the shielding art here. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this and hope I'm luring them. Okay, Corrin's not Dragon Vading yet, which is good. I was really hoping that I would be able to counter you with Parthia, but I'm pretty sure if I tried that, then the Martial Master would have broken me. Oh no, you're going for a Chain Guard, which is admittedly a massive pain in my side. And that's a Paladin, yeah. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between Paladins and Great Knights, as I've said before. It reminds me a lot of the way that... Can I kill you with... I guess I can attempt to get a crit, maybe. See, here's where Luna, like, I actually kind of need Luna. But it reminds me a lot about the difference between, like Blue Moon normal tanks and Blue Moon medium tanks in Reboot Camp. It is so cool when you get a crit upside down.
I need to get strong.
They look a little bit too similar, and you do really need to know the difference between a medium tank and a regular tank. That's kind of the case with Great Knights and Paladins too, especially in this game, because Great Knights are... Oh, I inherited Advance. Okay, so now I can actually advance and then do that, or I can advance and use the Rapier, which is way more accurate, but a little less damage. Also, it's... I never notice how hilarious some of these people look when they're swapping between weapons. Well, there's, yeah, real-time weapon change that, Tale of... Genji 2, that's it, wishes it had. It's probably not actually based on the Tale of Genji. Will I be able to actually get some... Nope! Doesn't quite kill you. If I do this, then you get to hit me first, which... And also, I have bad accuracy. Yeah, let's just go for this.
I'll go first.
Since this map is fairly straightforward, I might actually want to start talking about my thoughts on Fates early, because, yeah, that's gonna take a little while, I will say, because I've got quite a lot of thoughts on Fates. The thing is, though, I actually do quite enjoy Fates, like, as a game, quite a bit. I mentioned this back in my, back in my, 10 years of YouTube thoughts on my first few projects, but I do, admittedly, kind of regret some things about my Conquest playthrough, specifically the fact that I said it was blind, and it wasn't entirely. I tried to have it be blind, but between some people in the comments, not most, it's just like one person specifically, but also, it's mostly the fact that I recorded that when I was still at university, and oftentimes I would get bored while on campus and look at stuff online and inevitably run into a whole ton of Fate spoilers. So by the time I actually did get to, oh, I can heal you and run, I guess. By the time I actually did get to, like, some of the later plot points of, like, Fate's Conquest and, Birthright, I had been spoiled. In particular, I got spoiled on who the final boss of Conquest was way ahead of time. I didn't quite, you know how or why they were the final boss. It was kind of cool they gave the Swordmaster 11 sword to reference Ryoma having a long-range sword in Fates, but yeah. Yeah, I didn't really, like, have an idea how or why he would be the final boss. Oh, hi, Thoron. Also... Huh, that is normally a maddening specific skill. Effectively, that's Wrath, and that's really scary. Does anything else here have maddening specific skills? No, that's just your smash bonus, which... Oh, you have a Silver Great Axe, too. In fact, your attack power is almost as high as Amber's. The thing with enemies with smash weapons, though, is you do kind of want to attack them, like, get the drop on them. Because if you do, you can use... Ivy can't even double that guy. Right, scratch that. That guy is terrifying. I really need to kill him. I'm a little concerned about Thoron. That's a lot of damage. But yeah, right now, I'm just sort of slowly poking everybody. I will not be able to do this for much longer. Oh, hi, Grasping Void. It would be funny if, like, I needed exactly one more damage to kill something and Grasping Void actually, like, did that, but... Oh boy, that is potentially Axe Enemy and Thoron. I don't think she'll be okay with that. Wait, hang on a minute. No, I hate having to use the time rewind to do things like this, but I just realized something. If I got Spur Attack from Tamara, would that have actually killed you? Not quite, but actually maybe the Grasping Void would count here. Yeah, there's Grasping Void. Oh, not quite. I would have needed to Grasping Void twice. At least I did a little more damage, though.
I sense a draconic power underground. Is it a dragon vein? I'll use that to my advantage.
Okay, here it is.
Don't worry, though. I'm sure you'll be able to handle it.
Unfortunately, we don't get the really cool Dragon Vein-like effect for that from Fates. Yeah, I had fun yelling out Dragon Vein every time I used it back then. Okay, I think my plan is going to be to go for, and that's not Aaliyah. Where's Aaliyah? Aaliyah's here, okay. Is to go for an Aaliyah Chain Guard Bonanza. So, let's try that. Also, Amber engage.
Emblem, engage.
So now we're going to play a game called How Many of the Fate Siblings Will Amber Kill in a Single Turn? Okay, Silver Great Axe. Aaliyah needs to get healed by Jean a little bit, probably. And that's going to get healed a lot because Recover.
Thank you.
I still have this dumb thing where I sometimes used to call Recover the Staff of Rick Kabar. I think I would rather everything attack Amber. Although he can't counter, so I suppose if I'm chain guarding, there's no reason not to put Jean there.
I'll do my best.
Lend me your strength.
So what's Aaliyah's support like with all these people? Because, oh yeah, I can't use her staff here, I have to Bonded Shield. Otherwise this entire plan falls apart horribly. If only I could go a little bit further, because you actually can Bonded Shield doubles, which is funny. And why not, let's call doubles. Get you in a little closer, and now, yeah, Thoron. That's not something... Okay, firstly, I just want to test run this. How much damage actually she takes? 16 from that fabrication. And then she takes from the Halberdier, she takes 15. But the Swordmasters are not going to do much. They do absolutely nothing. It's just, I want to see if I can actually kill the... Oh, not quite. Yeah, Thoron's a problem. Thoron's going to be a huge problem. I probably want to make sure that I at least lure them... That I don't lure them towards, like, across here and towards my group over that side, because that's the group that's going to fight Corrin. And the less I have to deal with when Corrin attacks, the better. And you are barely out of Chain Guard range. Okay, well, let's hope this Bonded Shield ploy works. Oh, did he just... Yeah, he just parried that out of the air because he's got enough speed to do that.
I really am worthless.
Yeah, get used to hearing that a lot when you use doubles with you know...
Stay back.
Alcrest, that's the word. Wow, it completely slipped my mind. Okay, Amber getting doubled there, that's actually a bit of a problem. And also, there are some chain attacks attacking him. Chain attack. Also, that Silver Great Axe is coming. And I think Corrin herself is going to move soon, too. And that is... Yeah, he's getting doubled, so only one of those is getting blocked. That is the bane of the Bonded Shield combo. But at least he's not getting doubled for much. Okay, I hope this misses, but it's probably not going to. Yep, she got broken. She does have the Rider's Bane, though, doesn't she? Okay. Oh no, Corrin's not going. Okay.
Out of my way.
Well, again, let's see how many of the siblings die to this. That was a really cool part of the song, actually. So, okay, that's one thing dead. And Hinoka's dead. And Takumi's dead. And I think Ryoma also, so I think he just killed 3 out of the 4. Yeah, the only one is Sakura, and Sakura's running away right now. She's going back to Korin. Which kind of makes sense, since, like, you're kind of, in the Nor version of this map, you're not actually really expected to fight Sakura. But if you do that, then you are forced to fight, I think it's Yukimura? Yeah, Yukimura. You know what? This actually might be a good time to show off, Draconic Hex.
Allow me.
Because I really want this thing to die before it attacks me. And it definitely should with that.
I'm here.
Oh, this... Okay, yeah, used to lose it. So the fires are gone now, so you won't actually be taking damage from standing in here. It's just that I really, really, really want you to die, and just do not like that Thoron at all. And I get hit first if I do that. I may have to, like, Ivy Physic, then... Because this bridge is no longer a choke point because they can go on the water. So Ivy will get attacked by a lot of things if she stays here. But I may need to Ivy Physic, then attack that. Because Tamara's, like, mostly safe if, I mean, she takes a solid amount of damage from the U, doesn't she? Yeah, she takes 15 from you. But, like, Tamara's, I think, mostly safe if this guy's dead. Hang on. This is actually a great use case for Fracture. If it hits. If it hits. 69%. Okay. Come on, meme number. Work. Ah! Yeah, that's annoying. I don't really want to have to, because I'm not using, like, I don't want to use Divine Pulse to rewind, that's 3 houses, but you get the idea, to rewind, like, misses, and there's no way, yeah, no, Aaliyah can't quite get in there, so I'm gonna have to probably abandon my attempts to, abandon my hope of taking that out. Now, if Korin is forced to equip the Wakizashi, that can be helpful, because then she will not be able to counterattack at close range. And to think I brought Tamara here hoping that she would level up, and she's not really been doing so hot. I probably should have sent her forward rather than to intercept the other set of enemies.
A good wind.
At least you're done. Oh yeah, you just have healing, so that's why you ran. Don't have any real way of, like, counterattacking. What happens if I use the... Oh, actually, no. No, you would die with Aaliyah, though. The thing is, this is here. And I would probably much rather attempt to kill that than try to, And that's a spear. And that's Thoron. But I'm not opposed to Thoron hitting somebody who has half damage on them right now. So I was just like, I could just do this, just hoping to break you, but if I... There's a very decent... But if I'm doing that, I might as well just use this and go for the guaranteed kill.
Allow me. Take this. You'll get no sympathy from me.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much right at this point. And yeah, so you're attacking there. I just need to get Tamara away from Thoron. As long as I get Tamara away from Thoron, I'm probably good. Except she, well, the Swordmaster can't hurt her, so if it's just, like, if it's just the axe guy... Yeah, Aaliyah does have physic, pretty sure. I wanted to have Aaliyah further down, though. So I might actually need to keep you up there for when the other enemies come. Oh, that potentially gets Thoron to hit Aaliyah. I want to say Tamara doesn't need healing yet. Oh, actually, what am I thinking? I should be using Bonded Shield more. Now, this feels like sort of a waste, but this does mean I have more chances of getting gold. I mean, I wonder if the ratio, like, I need to look up the cost of a free staff and see if the ratio of, like, 500 gold on that enemy to just what I just used of the free staff is worth it or not. I want to say that one use of a free staff is worth a little more than that. Oh, also, high vein of, Oh, thank Naga, that does not kill me. But I want to say that, oh, I'm in range of Thoron, aren't I? On Ivy. That could be bad. Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, that's Thoron on Ivy, and that's death on Ivy! Yeah, I didn't notice the Thoron range on you there. And Ivy was like the first person I moved that turn, wasn't she? Second person I moved that turn. Okay, Louis can go here. Oh, I really should have had Louis go back here rather than Tamara, because he's immune to break at least. Thankfully, level up RNG is the same if you rewind, because that was a great John level up and I wanted to keep it. Whoops, okay, maybe not healing Amber is gonna come back to bite me there, because he's about to get hit by Thoron. Misclicked there, but at least I'm getting the -1 damage from Divinely Inspiring. Hi, Corrin. Yep, we are having lowered evasion. Not that lowered evasion on Amber really matters much. Okay. Alright, you're doing that so that if somebody else attacks Louis, then a chain attack. Cool. Except you died, so that's pointless. I don't even know why you did that. I'm kind of glad that Louis is getting a little bit more strength. Like, Louis' strength is not exactly the greatest. It does tend to fall off later. Yeah, that's with half damage, by the way. Oh boy. Yeah, this is about the point where you start to get worried. Like I said, you don't really want to have a whole bunch of stuff rush you with Corrin at the same time. Oh, also, me freezing you may have been a bad thing? I don't know. Also, that's Elise. Hi, Elise. You are sometimes a very powerful magic attacker when trained. The problem is that you miss a lot, and then you also are incredibly squishy. And I wanted to have Byleth dance by the time Corrin was here. Oh, yeah, this is just, like, it's tempting. There's so much gold here, but also, I kind of feel like my best hope right now is for... No, wait, I still have Elise engaged, so... Like, I very much do need to kill the Thoron, though. Like, that's gonna go extremely badly if I don't kill the Thoron now.
Still good.
So I could try, Or I could just go for the Killer Axe, which still one-shots, so, why not?
My legend starts now. You'll get no sympathy.
Of course, he could still get broken by Corrin's sword. And also Torrential Roar, because of course Torrential Roar being an engage attack always hits, regardless of Bonded Shield. Oh, actually, I could get Bonded Shield and also kill off one enemy, but also fill up Byleth's engage. I hope there's nothing here that doubles Dawn, because that would be really bad, because that'd get through Bonded Shield. Because Corrin is probably not going to... You know, I want that Byleth back. I do probably need to Physic Amber, though. There's actually a decent number of things getting attack Aaliyah right now. Bonded Shield the Bonded Shield strat kind of assumes that Aaliyah gets surrounded on all sides, and that's probably not going to work so well here. And Ivy does not have Warp, and also Ivy... I don't even know if Ivy can Physic Amber right now, but I mean, I suppose I can try and Rider's Vein you. Or, honestly, that's probably better. I just want that guaranteed hit. It's funny to see Armor Knight just jump backwards like that. Yeah, this could actually be terrible, and probably is not good playing of, like, this is kind of a case of, like, oh yeah, I can just rewind if Aaliyah dies, because, like, Aaliyah is liable to get hit by a lot of things right now. Yeah, Rider's Bane's guaranteed to hit, let's use that.
Let's have some fun.
Okay, Sandstorm crit, there we go. That is a cool crit animation.
That was fun. Thanks.
And I'll have to finish off that level up in the arena, probably. Oh no, you are not even close to physicking Amber. Okay, and Fracture's not really going to matter, because I'm not attacking anything this turn. This could potentially be not good. Alright, Alchrist is here. He can't get into Bonded Shield range, so... let's just hope that they...
I have already chosen.
I did not expect you to go for Jean with that. I hope he's not dead to that. Ow! Oh yeah, and you get frozen with Draconic Hex too.
Stay back. Nothing short of...
Okay, there we go. First he gets blocked, and he didn't even need the crit. The second hit would have
I fight for my
killed
friends.
anyway. Okay. Okay, that was a tiny bit of experience for a leader, I think. That gets blocked.
My legend starts now.
And because that was a blade... Oh, that was
You'll
Xander,
get
I think.
no sympathy
So,
from
wow. Okay, Amber is just racking up all the kills on all of the siblings. And that's Camilla. So now Camilla's dead, I think.
I will be
Yep, she's dead. There we go. Bye-bye, Camilla.
I fight for my friends.
Oh, just this... Yeah, this combo is honestly, like, it's just one of those things that you might... Like, it is one of those broken things that I just feel genuinely fun to use, though. Unfortunately, and yeah, it does have the distinct weakness of, like, you can't, it doesn't work on enemies more than one range away. So it's not like it is guaranteed to kill everything. So, okay, again, Jean and Aaliyah are both frozen. But it is really tempting to kill everything else here. I mean, how much damage is Corrin gonna... I mean, okay, again.
I'll be careful.
He's frozen, he's hexed, and he's in water. That's probably not gonna end well. I do have another Bonded Shield, though. And yeah, it says, like, there, pair up. Just pair up totally blanks chain attacks. I could do that, but I do really want Amber to get Goddess Danced. In fact, I can Parthia, though, can't I? So, hi, Corrin. Also, yes, Cedo would probably have boss dialogue.
This is not good.
This is not good. Quite an elaborate quote from just getting hit by one thing. But then again, when that one thing that's hitting you is Amber, then it's definitely not good. So would it be better for me to get... You know, probably it would be better for me to get the Goddess Dance on Alchrist. Oh, I have 32 speed, of course I'm getting Alacrity. Because, okay, let me just see if
Not done yet.
taking out a health bar
No more.
is going to still count as Speed Taker. In fact, actually, the whole Speed Taker thing is actually kind of based on a localization from Fates. Is that Speed Taker? No, okay, the unit outright has to die for it to count as Speed Taker. So that's good to know. Oh, wait, I can't attack, I have to Bonded Shield. No, I can attack, and then I can Goddess Dance, and then I can Bonded Shield. But, like, honestly, I think Corrin needs to die this turn. Which is kind of bad, because that's a lot of gold I'm missing out on. Can Ivy kill anything? And yeah, if I attack from here, I get the B support with Alchrist. Supports usually don't do a whole ton in Engage, but they can help with, like, minor hit rate sometimes. Like, for example, that's way better of a hit rate than she would have had without that support. And here, I really need to get all the damage on Corrin that I can muster. Yeah, that's... You don't get to counter that, I suppose. Actually, if I had smashed Corrin out of the way before, I might have been able to Goddess Dance for 4 people. Actually, yeah, I think that is possible. So, if I were to do this, if I were to use that... I mean, I have to hit with the Hurricane Axe to get the smash.
Leave it to me.
Can't take it.
Okay, there we go, we got the hit. Yeah, Corrin's getting hit quotes are pretty dramatic. And that Draconic hexes her as well, so she gets to taste her own medicine. And yeah, now, here we go. If I do this, I will actually... I mean, I won't be able to Parthia with Aaliyah, but still. I will be able to do this with Ivy.
Allow me.
Okay, Grasping Void's actually pretty good against Corrin. Oh, I can all for 1, though. How much do I... Oh, wait, does that pierce? I don't know, it's telling me that it does pierce her dual guard. Of course, Parallel Falchion is getting Dragon Effectiveness on Corrin. So yeah, let's go for this.
I remember how I felt when I stood on the field that day.
This is where your destiny branched, isn't it? I think I can understand what you went through.
Do not swing timidly without resolve. You must genuinely try to kill me.
As you say, Corrin, I've chosen my path, and I'll travel as far as it takes me. I will never give up!
Alright.
Yeah, it looks like that does pierce Para. That's cool. Yeah, most like, engage attacks are just guaranteed to hit from everything. Also, there's Corrin's exposed thighs being displayed. So with this, Jean can engage and Goddess Dance. Yeah, he's almost level capped himself, which is kind of why I don't want him to go Mage Knight, because he won't be able to get access to this sweet experience with staves. They should make, like, aptitude characters staff users more often. Okay, with Aaliyah, though, is Dire Thunder going to... It still doesn't kill that. However, Amber is basically guaranteed to get me 500 gold.
My legend starts now. You'll get no sympathy from me.
Yes, we definitely know that the enemy is getting no sympathy from you, Amber. Because I have Parallel Falchion. How much do I need to actually finish off Corrin? Because if I don't need Alchrist, I could get more gold, and I don't actually think I need Alchrist. So...
I can't believe I did that.
More gold? It's gonna hurt so much to miss out on just one stack of gold, though. I mean, actually, though, if I Bondage Shield, Jean's probably safe. Okay, this is just a silly attempt to try and just... Because it's just like, if I don't... It's like, if I get all of the gold in this map except for one, it's just gonna bug me. So this is just a silly attempt to do that. I just hope it doesn't get somebody killed. Nope, she decided to Dragon Vein. Yeah, she does. Her AI does tend to prioritize just using Dragon Vein sometimes over, you know, doing anything like actually practical. So yeah, I'm pretty much got this in the bag now. I suppose that's at least a support.
Leave it to me.
Thanks for the business.
Now, sadly, the last one that I took down was Elise. So yes, we have not only defeated Emblem Corrin, but we've also massacred the simulacrums of all of her family. That got darker than I expected it to. Oh hey, Tamara might even be able to get her level up here. Let's see. Yeah, let's go for that. That'll also break her, I think?
I'll go first.
Can't take it.
It will, okay. And of course, she didn't even get her level up. This map was not a good showing for Tamara. I mean, at least she didn't die, unlike Ivy of all people. Speaking of Ivy, yeah, you just use a... Oh, I can't even use Fracture because she's already broken. Okay,
You're a lifesaver.
so I'm gonna have to waste a use of Physic just to level up Ivy. Okay, magic is at least something. Speaking of wasting staff uses. Just 39 damage with just a normal iron bow. Oh, that's because I'm merciless, but still. I want to see if you can at least get Luna or a crit, maybe, because I'd rather you take the level up than Amber, because Amber's
Here we go.
pretty high level already.
Have another.
All mine.
I hope this is enough.
I don't think it will be unless you crit again. No, in fact, even if you crit again, it won't be, but Luna... no, not quite. Okay. Well, I guess Amber is going to take it then. And I'm going to do it from the water just because why not? And also I'm going to do this just to show you the true folly of using the Wakizashi against me.
I'll go first.
Come on.
My path is clear.
Your path of losing is clear. Does kind of feel like that my path is clear is just like an attempt to something she says when she needs to reassure herself. But okay. Yeah, that Ivy death to forgetting about Thoron was, that was not good. But, the Great Amber Sibling Massacre. That was a thing. That one will go in the history books for sure, but for all the wrong reasons.
I expected no less from you. You gave my blade Yato quite a workout.
What a beautiful sword.
It's a divine blade, forged to bring peace to the world.
I was gonna say one thing about Yato, but that's technically a spoiler. I don't want to spoil too much of the other Fire Emblem games that the game doesn't already spoil.
When I first saw Yato, it flew from its hiding place into my hands. It chose me.
And I was gonna say something else here, but that's also a spoiler about the circumstances of that happening.
It was the same day my mother died protecting me.
No, wait! The game already did the spoiler anyway! Yeah. I mean, admittedly, just like Lumera, this isn't much of a plot twist. It happens really early, and you don't really get to know her very long.
You lost your mother, too?
It would have been easy to lose myself in that pain. I couldn't have recovered alone. Luckily, I had friends who stood by me and helped me find my way home.
Well, thankfully one of them was a songstress who was really good at calming down dragons specifically.
And, like my friends, Yato was by my side at every step on my journey.
I remember it actually being a pretty decent sword.
I understand your feelings quite well.
In the coming days, you'll make choices that might cause you no end of suffering. But no matter what pain you're feeling, I'm with you. And I'll help you find your way home again.
I will remember, even in the darkest moment, that I am not alone.
Then you'll be just fine.
Thank you, Corin, for joining me on this path I have chosen.
And with that, we have a quite important bond level unlock for Corin. At Bond 15, Corin gets a new sync skill, Pair Up, which completely nullifies all damage from opposing chain attacks. Combined with Corin's massive plus 15 HP at max level, this makes her surprisingly decent on tanks. She also ends up boosting magic by 4 and resistance by 3. The HP is the main point of significance. Speaking of HP, at Bond 18, Corin's user becomes a Master Face Toucher, restoring 10 HP instead of 5. Corin's Bond 15 weapon is the Yato, which somehow manages to still be disappointing despite decent stats on paper. For a Bond 15 weapon, 16 Might just doesn't cut it when it has no 1-2 range, no major stat boost, and no effectiveness bonus. The Avoid plus 10 is outclassed by Marth's Rapier, the first engage weapon you ever got. But as always, you're not using Corin for her engage weapons. For higher level inheritance, you get better sword focus, which is admittedly fairly cheap for a weapon skill, HP plus 12 and plus 15, which are fun to stack on top of Corin's HP boost, and inheritable quality time plus, and Pair Up. Pair Up is the main one, though it has a lot of competition for 2000 SP skills. Still, this is nice to inherit on your main Ike user, or on a tank you don't want to give Corin to. So, once again,
That's right.
my thoughts on Fire Emblem Fates, yeah.
Hi there.
Despite getting spoiled a lot, I had a lot of fun with my blind playthrough. That was actually how a lot of people found me, because I did that kind of right after I played Awakening on the channel, and in fact,
I wonder.
I actually owe it to Fates, that I even played Awakening on the channel, because it was the first Fates trailer that made me think, okay, yeah, now's the time to play Awakening. And the rest is history. Those berries being so red, it almost looked like I lost resources there somehow. In terms of Fates itself, its reception is was a little bit frosty in the fan base. I like to say that Fates was, them doubling down on everything that made Awakening successful, for better or worse. So on the one hand, they definitely addressed a lot of Awakening's shortcomings, like making pair up not only less broken, but letting the enemy use it too. The way they handle pair up in Fate is fantastic. In general, a lot of the moment-to-moment gameplay of Fates is great.
Hey.
I'll say that, like, Conquest particularly due to the map design, but Fates in general probably has the second best raw gameplay in the series next to this game. You know, some people might rank it a little higher. The only reason I rank Fates Conquest lower is because it's very difficult. Like, Fates Conquest was definitely meant for all the people complaining about Awakening being too easy, and they may have compensated a little too much by making definitely the hardest game in the series, but if you're into that kind of thing, yeah, I love how Fates handles its difficulty levels too. The enemies on Conquest Hard and Conquest Lunatic don't have any different, like, their stats are not different. All that they do is they add more enemies, they sometimes change the objectives, like make the time limit shorter on time limit maps, sometimes even changing your deployment positions. Like, you'd be surprised just how much it changes your approach to a map when there's like one archer in a place where there wasn't any before. And, like, entrap staff enemies. One of my criticisms of Fates' gameplay, though, is there really should have been a restore staff. I've said that earlier in Engage, that I love the fact that Engage has a restore staff, because Fates has some brutally debilitating status ailments, and there's no way to cure them. Like, there's an ailment that literally halves your max HP, and it lasts the rest of the entire map. There's no way to cure it, mid-chapter.
Incredible.
And that's completely, horrendously painful. But then there was the story. Now, yeah, I do think that for the most part, Fates has the worst story in the series. Now, there are actually a lot of people who genuinely are fans of Fate's story, and a lot of them have got quite angry and engaged because they sort of feel like, I don't know, that, like, people are giving Engage a pass for its gameplay when they didn't really give, Fates a pass for its story, but at the same time, the thing is, I do feel like Fates was broadly received a lot more warmly.
Indeed.
Despite being very similar to Engage, known more for its gameplay than story.
May I?
The thing that I appreciate about Fates' reception, now there's one thing that I didn't appreciate about Fates' reception, but I'll get to that, but what I appreciated, this bridge just ends.
You know.
I mean, it's broken, so I guess that makes sense. But what I appreciated was that, like, yeah, Fates' story was not the best, but it felt like most of the fandom didn't really mind that much. They were just like, yeah, the story's bad, but let's just all have a laugh about it. Like, they had kind of a good sense of humor about Fates' story. They still enjoyed the gameplay, and they could just find a lot of just funny, so bad it's good things about the story, and not really get too, like, there was a little bit of anger, but, like, it was never quite as similar to, like, Engage, where, meanwhile, Engage logically should have been received a bit similarly, but instead, like, I don't even think Engage's story is bad. I think it's more just, it's, you know, silly and cheesy and, I guess, campy, maybe, but it's still decently executed for what it is, whereas Fates' story has way more problems. And I still think the problem with Fates' story was that they had to write 3 stories in the time it normally takes them to write 1, and it just kind of suffered. That's why I've been kind of against route splits in Fire Emblem. But at least with Fates, the routes justify themselves existing, because they're all totally different for the most part map-wise. Whereas 3 Houses, yeah, I'll get to 3 Houses next paralogue, but 3 Houses was the opposite. They wrote the routes a little better, but gameplay-wise, they were just way too similar, and the one that wasn't was just rushed and had the worst story. But, I'll talk more about that when I talk about my thoughts on 3 Houses, but it just feels like a lot of people have tried to theorize why the reception to Engage being less focused on story and more in gameplay was just so much more, for lack of a better word, venomous than Fates. Like, it was brutal, savage, and violent the way people tore into this game's story. And in a way they never did for Fates, and some people think it's because of we're currently in the X is horrible and here's why era, where people like to make big video essay think pieces on why certain stories are terrible and, like, completely tearing them apart. I like to think it's because of what came before. Three Houses. I think Three Houses set people's expectations for story way too high. In a sense, though, that's actually why I feel Fates' story was received as badly as it was, because with Fates, they specifically said, okay, look, Awakening's story wasn't that good, we admit that. We're gonna do better this time. We've hired a professional manga writer, and we're gonna have a good story this time. And, well, especially since they promised that Conquest would be a more unique and deeper, more complex story, and it really wasn't. It was really just generic Fire Emblem plot, except you're playing as the bad guys. And if it was advertised that way, I think Conquest may have been better received, but it's just like, there's kind of a problem that a lot of people have with Fire Emblem, and it's a completely different topic. It's that, like,
I think I've grown up a little.
people kind of want a villain route in Fire Emblem that doesn't pretend it's not a villain route. But something I did notice was the marketing for Conquest, especially where I lived, was actually focused on invading Hoshido. Like, the marketing was less about, you know, reforming Nor from the inside. It was about, defeat your rivals, the Hoshido, and considering a lot of people kind of got angry at Hoshido for being, like, the quote-unquote Mary Sue Kingdom, I wonder if that kind of marketing might have made Conquest broadly better received from the start. Speaking of Amber getting too many levels.
Today?
Okay, this is the ultimate test of how broken Amber is. Oh, he actually does lose, if he gets hit by this.
I'm crushed, but you look really cool.
Yeah, that is the downside of Smash weapons, as we saw with the enemies. Oh, I just realized that I do have to talk about one final thing. Yeah, so probably the thing that does frustrate me the most about Fates is the way that the localization was received, and I don't want to go into it too much, but I do think there are some things you can legitimately criticize about it, especially things like Saizo and Baruka's C support. I do agree with people being angry about that, especially since they kept the B and A's the same, and they followed on from the original C. And there were a couple of little changes to characterizations. Me personally, I thought it was mostly for the better. Like, I actually think that, like, Hoshido was significantly improved by becoming more racist and bloodthirsty, because, again, they were like the Mary Sue Kingdom before. People, all of those legitimate criticisms just got lost in the fact that they removed one optional minigame that nobody liked in the first place. Like, seriously, when the face-touching minigame was first announced, everybody hated it. Like, almost everyone in the fan base was just like, what the hell is this? Like, this is the whole for better or worse thing about doubling down on what made Awakening popular. It's just like, okay, well, people like waifus, let's have a face-rubbing minigame, and let's have Nador outfits and panty shots in the battle animations. And yeah, like, most of the people in the fanbase really hated the face-touching minigame. And then the moment that it got cut, people were suddenly really angry. And, like, gameplay-wise, the benefits are all still there. You still get the support bonus, it's just you don't get the face-touching. But yeah, the whole localization drama was just, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it didn't really deserve the backlash it got, especially since Awakening's localization censored and changed just as much, if not even more. And people didn't care because most people didn't follow Awakening in Japanese. I've even seen some people say that, like, oh, if Awakening was localized the same way that Fates was, the series would have died. And I'm just like, no, this Awakening still would have been a success regardless, I'm sure. And also, the main reason why I don't often talk about this on the channel is, and I'm going to be very brief about this because it's the reason why I don't talk about it on the channel, I also feel like a lot of the backlash against Fates was politically motivated. Let's just say that in 2016, you all know what happened to politics in 2016. And on the internet especially, that was, you know, things were going crazy in that realm, on, let's just say, both sides of the political spectrum. And, they got involved in Fates' localizations arguments, and were using it as a proxy for political debates and political flame wars. And that's all I'll say about that. Sorry to end the video on that note, but we now have Corrin's higher bond levels unlocked, And I'll see you next time when we move out to the replica of the Holy Tomb. See you all then.